Discovery videos 78. Gonna log into the free area here. View all Discovery videos. Link or banner. Click on that. Big red arrow. Okay, here's my listing of races that I focus on these races. The reason why is because after about 16 years worth of tireless research, I narrowed it down to certain conditions in races that were more lucrative for high odds winners and had a high impact value. Excuse me. And so I've got a group of preferred races here, what I call them. And of this group, there's a subgroup within that are the strongest, and then there's certain conditions. Let me read them off to you, all right? And remember now, I focus on these races because I have a better than average chance on getting that high odds a high-end value odds winner or overlay winner. Starter allowance races. It has to have an S, ALW, the amount, and a little S. All other starter allowance races are not preferred. Excuse me. All other allowance races are not preferred, but allowance races, yes. Okay. Starter allowance. Let's see. It has to have an S at the end. And I botched that all up. Okay. Non-graded stakes. Grade 3 races. All maiden claiming races. Highly rated, 4 stars. All maiden special weight races. All claiming races with a condition, like non-winners of 2 lifetime, or you'll see CLM, the claiming amount, and then you'll see some numbers and letters to the right. That's a conditional claimer. Okay? Highly rated, 4 stars. Then you got your bottom and low level claiming races. Most tracks this would be about the $5,000 to $10,000 claiming level. Then you got the next condition is all races run over the turf, regardless of what else they are. If it's a turf race, if it's run on turf, it is not only a preferred race, but a highly rated 4 stars preferred race. And then finally, the last condition is all races run over a wet track. Okay? Now, we're going to look at a race at Belmont in this video. It's what you call a 4-star double preferred race. Reason being, as you can see here, it's a claiming 20,000 B. Okay, that would classify it as a conditional claimer, 4 stars. It is also a turf race, so that is also 4 stars. So this is the highest you can get, is a double 4-star preferred. Okay, you can't get any better than this. So now that I open the card up to Belmont in the first race, I get hit between the eyes with this, and then I have a whole process that I go through it. I never fall in love with a horse, because what I do is I look for overlay betting situations. But there are some, I do get interested, and it's okay to be interested in a horse. But see, you don't want to love a horse, okay? Because then you start chasing that horse, okay? And how many times have we chased a horse into the ground? And I don't mean him into the ground, us into the ground, okay? We don't, because anytime if someone's handicapping a race or is a horse player, and if their goal and if they sit down and say, I'm going to see who the winner of this race is. Okay. Now, if you think common sense, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Okay. The answer to that is, if you want to make a profit, no. Okay. What you have to do if you want to make a long-term profit as a horse player is seek out positive overlay betting situations. So we start off by looking for our races, okay, the type of races that we have listed here. Then the next thing we do is we look at the value odds horse in that race, and then we go from there. Now in this race we have two value odds horses, number 6 Far From Shy and number 7 Unique Citizen. Okay, both of them, well, the top two picks in the race. Okay, and as far as the picks from top to bottom, it's done by a power rating. Okay, we got a power rating that sorts our picks from top to bottom. Okay, now, so we got the top two picks for both value odds horses. The next thing I need to do is I need to know the odds near post time, as this is actually the most important thing. Okay, here's the way that looked. Now, if you cannot be there to watch the odds near post time, I suggest you use a conditional wagering. And I actually did use a conditional wagering on this race. There's several companies that have it. Twin Spires is the one I use. But some people told me that there's some other companies out there that have conditional wagering. But basically, conditional wagering allows you to make a bet in advance, and you get to set a minimum odds requirement for your bet, and at a certain time frame. For example, I make my bet at 0 minutes to post. I want to bet the 6 and I want to bet the 7, two separate bets, but I want at 0 minutes to post a minimum of 10-to-1 odds. If it goes below that, then my bet's not placed. Okay. You can set the odds at whatever you want, 10-to-1. Some members go 12-to-1. I know some members that are actually going higher, up to 15-to-1. Okay. For me, I won't consider anything less than 10-to-1, and the higher the better. But if it's less than double digits, I'm not interested. So the betting public. Now, we had two value odds horses, but as you can see here, the betting public has made our decision. Once a value odds horse gets bet down, and Far From Shy was bet down to 7-to-2, okay, this defeats the whole purpose of having a value odds horse. The whole purpose of being interested in a value odds horse is not the horse. It's the fact that the value odds icon is pointing to the fact that this horse could possibly run better than the 10-to-1 morning line odds that it has. But if the betting public is all over the horse and bet it down to 7-to-2, we don't have any advantage at all. So as far as this is concerned, the 6 is no longer in consideration for me because it's below 10-to-1, and my bet is not placed. Now, we have a totally different story on number 7, Unique Citizen. Unique Citizen was a near post time 60-to-1. 60-to-1. This now has my attention. Okay? At this point, if I was watching this live, I would be, I mean, if you look at your Group A horses here, look at your odds near post time. I mean, it's the obvious elephant in the room here. I mean, there's nothing to think about. Okay. Once I do that, I like to look at the horse and say, what does this horse have going on? What's the story of this horse? Give me an idea of what I could possibly expect from this horse. What are the positives that this horse has. I'm going to back him at 60 to 1. Now tell me, I want to know some things that are going on in a positive direction. Now remember, the odds are the most important. The only reason why I want to know what the horse has got going on is for research purposes, for my own knowledge, okay? You see the value odds icon, and you see a few other icons, and you see here purple icons, okay? These purple boxes with numbers, each one of those represents one of the 36 proven winning overlay angles, okay? Your free ebook here on the free page. And Unique Citizen has a couple of interesting ones. Especially number 25. This is probably the most underrated, actually the most underrated factor in handicapping completely, because the way we do it, I'll get there eventually, just I'm scrolling with my finger here. It's the 5 o'clock in the morning scroll, and I want to be down to 25. I should put shortcuts on this page just so I can click from the top straight down. Yeah, I think I will do that. Okay, I went past it. There. Number 25. You see a horse with the number 25 in the purple box. That is the form rating angle. Very underrated. I'm going to tell you why. Here, I've highlighted it here from a previous video. Full Card Reports form rating is more of a predictor of form for today's race than a reflection of what the horse has done recently. Okay, when I first developed the form rating, which was many years ago, when I presented the criteria to my programmer and I said, this is what I want done and analyzed to come up with the form rating number, he was like, wow, that is pretty incredible stuff there. It was the list of things that went into this rating. It's sickening how complicated this was to come up with. But because see, anybody can look at a horse and say, well, the horse, like our horse here, finished 9th last time out and finished dead last in an 8-horse field before that, dead last in a 6-horse field before that. It would be very easy to say, and I can guarantee you that 99% of the players that didn't have this report were saying, oh, this horse has got no form at all. Now, yes, that's true. The horse has not shown form in its last several races. But remember, when I analyze form, I analyze from a horse's total career. So my form rating starts from a horse's first career race and looks at every career race to right up to his most recent start, and then makes a prediction of which horse is going to move, which figures to move forward based on my criteria. So that's why I say this is such a valuable and underrated thing, because it's a predictor. Okay, so my form rating, as you can see here, like I told you, angle 25, it's listed here. Don't let the name fool you. It's called current form. It's not really having anything to do with what it did currently, in you know, like in its last race. It's basically saying this is what I believe the current form rating is in this race. Okay, that's an 8. Now these numbers can run anywhere from a negative number all the way up to a positive 8, and that's the highest. Okay, I think you can even get a 9. But I mean, suffice to say, if you look up and down here, okay, there's 1, 7, Our horse is an 8, and the rest of them really are not close. Several of them are in the negative. So my form rating is making a prediction that this horse is going to make a big move forward today. Okay, this is something that is it's not used in handicapping. Very few people pay any attention to it, and it's so valuable. And that's why it is so valuable. That's why a horse can go off at 60 to 1, because 99% of the betting public does not have that information. Well, I don't know how much. I don't know what percentage of the betting public are looking at our reports. I know that we have a small, tight little group, and we're happy with that. But let's just suffice to say that the majority of the betting public is not looking at this report. Then, the blue and white jockey trainer team. When it's blue and white, it indicates that that jockey trainer team is having a very good meeting, as a positive record at the current meeting. Okay? So since this meeting is the Belmont Fall meeting, and it just started recently, Mr. Ortiz and Espinoza have been hooking up on they're swinging towards the positive right away. Okay, when a jockey and trainer are hooking up for the meet and doing well, it's very important. Very important. Now, Unique Citizen also has the Class TL icon, also known as Total Class, also known as Back Class. So the best, she has the best total class rating in the field. Okay, that is very important in turf races, and anybody who's been around the game a while will tell you that class is very important in turf racing. Now, how we rate class, how our class ratings come about is a different story. I mean, we have our criteria and formulas for everything, but as you can see here, she's got the 35 rating, and that's underlined. A few things that I noted here: she's got the second best late pace rating. Okay, second only to the 7 to 2 shot. So, but she's at 60 to 1 with the second best late pace rating. Very important on the turf. If you're a handicapper, you know that late pace on the turf is very important. She also has the second best total pace rating, okay, our 60 to 1 shot. And she also has the second best competitive purse level. And what that means is it analyzes the purse level of horses that race competitively. If a horse races competitively in a race, all right, it measures the purse level of that race. So anything over 100 would indicate that this horse basically has been competitive in races with a much higher purse than today's race. Okay? I mean, these are all things that just give us a little confidence in our bet. Now, the next thing I like to do is I like to ask the question, why is the betting public not betting this horse? Well, it's pretty easy. I mean, the betting public looks at a horse's last race, sometimes last couple of races, and when they're looking at a horse that finished 9th out of 11, and previous to that dead last in an 8-horse field, and previous to that dead last in a 6-horse field, they're just taking and drawing a big X through this horse. Okay? And here again, those who did not have this report in front of them would not have known the complete story of this race and this horse. And these reports show a complete story. It analyzes everything. And it makes predictions for today, because anybody can look at a horse and see what it did last time it raced. But if you've been around the game a while, you know that what a horse did last time out, it practically has nothing to do with what it's going to do today. I mean, if you think about it, All right. It may have something to do with what he's going to do today, depending on certain factors. But every race is a different story for every horse. Okay? So, with the exception of tremendous champions like Zenyatta, who won just about every race except for one in her career, and other, huge champions like that, with the exception of those horses, all horses run in cycles of highs and lows, okay? And especially if you're in the conditional claiming ranks, you're definitely going to see highs and lows, cycles of ups and downs in that class level, okay? So everything is pointing towards a big swing upward here. That's why she's the second pick to begin with. All now, as far as her being the second pick in the race, that is the determination from the power rating, like I showed you earlier, and that power rating itself has got dozens upon dozens upon dozens of your good basic handicapping principles evaluated and analyzed. Okay, so basically, I take my handicapping knowledge and program the exact checks and balances and references into the program so that I can analyze races by a computer using what I had set up to be a criteria that was not a computer. In other words, my research throughout the last 16 years has been done by hand. I don't believe in using computer stats as far as determining whether something, an angle or a situation is good or not. Okay? I don't believe in using databases for that reason, for the purpose of that. That's why you have all these guys with big databases who are broke. They can't figure out how to make money in this game. The money's not in the database. The money comes when if you do this by hand, like I got, for example, 16 years worth of research where I have studied every race at every track. Think about it. Every race at every track, every day, compared with my reports, and I watch as many races as I can. I watch as many replays as I can, but I absolutely look at the results of the ones that I don't watch. I look at all of them every day for 16 years, every track, big and small. And yeah, it's been a lot of work to compile my information by hand, okay? But the reason I did it by hand, okay, and I'm talking about with a notebook, well, or a notepad on the computer, as opposed to jamming a bunch of figures into a computer and having it analyze it for me. No. I did it all by hand because it gives me a better feel for the entire situation. And that's how we were able to come up with stuff like this. Okay? Have I totally got you lost now? Good. Your job, you don't have to know all this stuff. All you have to do as a member is look at the reports, understand what you're looking at. Okay? Understand what you're looking for. Okay? And when you see it, make your bet. That's all you have to do. Everything else I've done for you. Blood, sweat, and tears for 16 years. Hey, that rhymes. Blood, sweat, and tears for 16 years I've done for you. You just need to learn how to analyze, how to interpret the report. Not analyze, but interpret the report of what you're looking at and understanding what everything means. But basically, you can break it down to this being as simple as can be. I mean, it takes 3 seconds to look at a tote board a few minutes before post time at my Group A horses, and there's an obvious elephant in the room there, like I said earlier. I really don't have to do anything else. Like I said, the only reason why I like to look for positives in the horse is for research purposes, And I also like to figure out why the betting public is not touching a horse. It's also for research purposes. But it has no determination on whether I'm going to bet the horse or not. This is the determination on whether I bet the horse or not. The 60 to 1 odds. Okay, now, this has been a long video so far. I'm not even at the bets yet. Put the bets together quickly. Always bet the win bet first. Even if you're going to play exotic wagers, always get your win bet down first. I go $10 to win for the video purposes. Your bet could be more or less depending on your bankroll, but always get that win bet down first. You do not want to have a trifecta ticket keying a 60 to 1 horse and you don't cash the trifecta and you feel like an idiot because you had a 60 to 1 shot and you don't have a win ticket. We've all been there. I've been there. You've been there. Stop that insanity right now. And you can stop that by, when you have horses like this at big odds, win ticket first. Then next in line, what I do is I like to wheel my exacta. So I'll do, first of all, I'll do $10 to win. Then I'll do a $2 7-all exacta. And since this is the first race, it's a daily double, I also wheel doubles. So it'll be a 7-all double for $2. So $10 win bet, wheel the exacta, wheel the double. Now, if I have bankroll to play trifecta, it goes as follows. We're going to key the 7 on top all by herself. Second position to trifecta, we're going to put 6, 8, 3, 12. That represents the rest of Group A and the top horse in Group B. And then all for third, 10-cent super, all for fourth. Okay? The bad news is we missed the trifecta. The good news is we got our mare home at 58 3/4 to 1. Once again, I'll say, whoever at Adobe came up with this should be fired. This is the most annoying crap. There, see? Totally screws up everything. Get rid of it. 119.50 on your Win Mutual. Look at where your favorite was. Your heavy favorite. Frequently in these preferred races, heavy favorite runs out. Second favorite, out. That's why I like preferred races. So we got our $10 win ticket on the 119.50. How about that exacta for the first race at Belmont? Will that get you going pretty good? Like I said, the bad news is we missed the trifecta, but the good news is obviously we hit our big horse. I paid 119.50 and the exacta and the double, obviously, because we had it wheeled. And the reason why I like to wheel horses is because I frequently catch a long one on the other side. Like, for example, here I caught an 8 to 1 underneath my 58 to 1 shot. And then the double, we had another long one in the second race, and the double paid 1,761. So even though I missed the trifecta and the super, I'm still cashing out. And the first race at Belmont on this particular day, on this one horse, $3,404.50. Needless to say, it was a good day. Okay? A very good day. And actually, if you hit like that in the first race, one thing you want to make sure you do is you don't want to give it back to them. Don't start betting money like crazy. If you hit a big one, you know, just even if you just had the win bet and collected $597, if your bankroll only allows you to make win bets, and that's fine. If you just make your win bets, you will conservatively grow your bankroll if you follow my whole plan here. But whatever it is, if you win a big one, if you nail one, don't give the money back to them. I know it's hard to walk away, especially since we love the sport and it's our hobby. So sit there the rest of the day and just play $2 here, $2 there. And the reason why is the odds on you hitting another big one like that on that particular day the odds are not in your favor of hitting another one that big. However, you can hit something else at another track. But the odds are, if you've hit that one big one at that one track, the odds are you will not hit another, even if there's some other, long shots that come in, like on this particular day, the odds are you're not going to have those. It's all part of the odds and probabilities part of the game, okay? So if you know that, you're not going to be saying, okay, I'll be Mr. Greedy and I'll parlay everything into the next race and I'll make myself a fortune. Okay, if you do that, you're just gonna blow your bankroll. You're gonna blow it all away. By the end of the day, it'll all be gone. I've been there, you've been there. There's no reason to do that if we just manage our money, okay? Manage your money. Okay, quickly here. On the same day at Calder, 4-star preferred race. Okay, conditional claimer, right? You recognize that. We only had one value odds horse in there, so that made our job easy. It went off at very good odds, and everything hit in our strategy because the 3 ran second. We had Sacred Desire at 16 to 1. 35-40 value odds winner there. This is why I like to play the all button for third, because we caught a 59 to 1 shot for third. The way I play my trifecta strategy would be 9 with the 3, 1A, 6, 5 with all, okay? That strategy made the trifecta pay over 2,800. So, but for $1, I got back 1,400 and change there, and then 10-cent super. So you had 10% of 11,000. That was another grand there, okay? So as you can see, we did have another hit, but it was at a different track. The odds are we're going to have a hit, but it's going to be a different track if we're going to hit more than one. Now, I mean, that's not written in stone. I'm not saying it'll never happen to where you'll hit 2 big ones on the same track. It's just that the odds are against that happening. As long as you understand that, and you understand the laws of probabilities, you will be a better horse player because you will know where to turn your attention to. And then here again, same day, Louisiana Downs. We have another 4-star preferred race, conditional claimer. Another value odds winner. She was the only one in the race there. Skinny McGinty. And with my wagering strategies, we hit all the exotics in here. 10 to 1 final odds. 2380 on the win. And the rest of it didn't pay much, but another value odds winner. It all adds up. I think we had a pick 3 in there too as well. But as you can see, we did have another hit on a long one, but it was a different track. Okay? This one was at Louisiana. Previous to that was Calder, and the other one was Belmont. On the same day. And then, same day, at Fairplex, Maiden Claiming, another 4-star race with one value odds horse, Pelican Hill. Another winner. 27 to 1, 57-20. So as you can see, we had four nice big hits on the same day at 4 different tracks. Okay? So we just need to understand the laws and the rules of probabilities so that we're not chasing stuff. And remember, if you're looking at a horse race and you're trying to pick the winner, what you're doing is you're chasing the winner. Okay? It's a term used more in sports betting than it is, but I mean it is used in horse racing too. When you're chasing, the odds are against you making a long-term profit. Instead of chasing a winner, okay, look for positive overlay betting situations, like, for example, the races I showed you here at Fairplex, Louisiana Downs, Calder, and Belmont Park. Wait for those opportunities to come, and then apply your proven strategies. Now, if you want to know what tracks are hot, what tracks to play, take a look at my Discovery video page, and you see the tracks that where I'm hitting at. Okay, Delaware, Belmont, Turfway, Remington, Belmont again, Delaware, Belmont, Louisiana Downs, Turfway, Calder again. Okay, Monmouth Park. This page will show you where the tracks, where the money's at. Okay, and last thing I'm going to mention is a subject that nobody really wants to talk about, but it's essential to bankroll, to making a long-term profit, and that it's bankroll management. Whatever your horse racing bankroll is, you must set a certain percentage as your maximum bet on any given race that you bet. Hopefully, you are concentrating on preferred races, four-star preferred races, and double preferred races. Establish what I suggest, 1 to 2% of your bankroll maximum per race. The reason why we do that is so that you, at that rate, if you put a maximum 1 to 2% of your bankroll per race that you bet, you'll virtually guarantee that you will never tap out of your bank. Okay? And this is what we horse players do. We tap out of the bank, and we have to want to do that. So, bankroll management, that's the last part. Long-winded, but a lot of good information. Thank you very much, and good luck.